Today's Cowboy Report is made possible by Roan. I am rocking one of their polos. It is my favorite one that I own, and you should go get one as well. Roan.com/chatsports and use code chatsports saves you 20% off your entire order. Now we're going to preview Cowboys and the Steelers, a old rivalry, AFC, NFC, a big game for both teams. If you want the Cowboys to beat the Steelers, you got to like the video. We have the data to prove it. The more likes we get, the more wins the Cowboys end up getting, and the more likely it is they win each game. Let's make sure we crush our Steelers channel in likes this week. Like the video right now. It is a Sunday night football matchup to open up the October slate for the Cowboys. The Steelers, as of filming, this line might fluctuate some, are a 1-point favorite at home. Cowboys have technically a top 10 scoring offense. Doesn't necessarily feel like that. They have a almost bottom 5 scoring defense. Does feel like that. Pittsburgh offense has not been that great. We'll talk about that in a little bit. They're 21st in scoring. But they have one of the best defenses in football. Again, this is Steelers football. The offense doesn't look very good, and the defense plays out of its damn mind almost every game. If you don't like that, you just don't like Steelers football. Some injuries I want to get into here. First up is Micah Parsons, and I would be shocked if he played next week, let alone this upcoming week. I think he is out through at least the bye. He will not participate Wednesday in practice and throughout the week as well. He is in a boot and has the scooter. They're going to try to get that high ankle sprain to heal as quickly as possible, but it's going to take time for Micah Parsons. He will not go, I don't think, against the Steelers. He said he wants to, but I think he's kind of resigned himself to that fact as well. 2 injuries to monitor that maybe they're good to go. Markquese was hurt in week 3. The short turnaround meant he could not go in week 4. He was listed as doubtful with that ankle injury. I don't know how close he really was to playing. Didn't practice all week. I think we'll know by Thursday. If Bell is limited on Thursday, I think that gives him a real shot of playing, and maybe playing more, given the struggles you've seen with Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker. Then there's Caelen Carson, who is battling a shoulder injury. Again, Thursday will give us an indication. DNPs on Wednesdays are one thing. If you're DNP on Thursday too, it makes it kind of tough to make anything happen. He's been up and down, more downs as of late. Also a good question mark of if Carson can't go, who's the other corner? Because they tried Andrew Booth and they benched him. And they made Amani Oruwariye play. He had the game-stealing pick, and I thought was better than Andrew Booth was. But, man, that's a practice squatter you're banking on to start. I think they'd like to have Carson back despite some struggles, especially in week 2 and in week 3. He was pretty good against the Browns, though. So who we got in this one? It is the pinned comments on today's video. C for the Cowboys, S for the Steelers. That ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Let's talk keys to victory. Number 1, a thing you have consistently struggled with. You got to stop the mobile quarterback. You have to find a way to limit what Justin Fields does outside of the pocket and on the run. Now, his passing stats this year have been pretty solid. A very high completion percentage. Has been a lot of short stuff, a lot of easy stuff in the Arthur Smith offense. Positive EPA per play. Only 3 touchdowns. Only 830 yards. And what's most noteworthy to me, the Steelers have let Fields run, Fields has run. 38 carries. Only 145 yards. Now, some of those are scrambles, some of those are designed. That's under 4 yards per carry. In a way that we don't always see with running quarterbacks and mobile quarterbacks, the quarterback run has not actually been that efficient in Pittsburgh. It has had issues. He's also got 4 fumbles this year. Now, he only lost 1 of them, but that ball can end up on the ground. And when it does, you got to recover it. He had a nice day against the Indianapolis Colts. I kind of thought probably had one of his better days, even in a loss. They did score 24 points, but he had 10 carries, 55 yards, 2 scores. He threw for 300 yards. I think it was his best game of the season. They still lost. Defense didn't have their best stuff, and what amounts to 2 lost fumbles, 3 total, was bad for Pittsburgh. Fields can be a bit of a chaos agent, and those plays can hurt you, or they can help you. Today's show is made possible by Roan. I rock the polo as much as I possibly can, and from a cleanliness perspective at least. But the male closet was due for a radical reinvention, and Rhone has stepped up to the challenge. They have stuff for every occasion. Pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos like I'm wearing, blazers, and even more. Their signature 4-way stretch fabric is breathable, flexible, and leaves you free to enjoy whatever life ends up throwing your way. Get unparalleled confidence without all the hassle. The Commuter Collection also features wrinkle release technology and is 100% machine washable. The Rhone Commuter Collection gets you through any workday and right into whatever comes next. Head to Rhone.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS. Save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you go to RHONE.com/chatsports and use code CHATSPORTS. Find your corner office comfort today with Rhone. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Go check it out and upgrade your closet in the process. Number 2, key to victory. This kind of ties into number 1 as well. Run defense has to show up. The Giants did not run the ball effectively. As a result, your numbers are better across the board. You are now only 27th in rushing yards allowed per game, 21st in yards per carry, 31st in EPA per rush because they give up some third downs. Still bad in yards after contact in particular. There's a lot of numbers on there, I know. Teams have had success getting the ball to the outside, breaking tackles. That could be an issue against the Pittsburgh Steelers, more so than it was against the New York Football Giants. Now, these Steelers are 10th in yards per game on the ground, but it's not because of efficiency. Pittsburgh does not have an efficient ground game. They have a volume-based ground game, where they run the ball a lot, but they're still not great in yards after contact, not great in yards per carry, too many fumbles, not great success rate, but they stick with it. They will run the ball. Now, they haven't seen very many stacked boxes this year. They've actually seen more light boxes because of some of the personnel stuff they're able to do that Arthur Smith does. The Cowboys, when they deploy their different boxes, it's not great. They are great in neutral box looks, which is probably like more often than not comes in like neutral situations. Only allowing 3.4 yards per carry. Like most teams against light box, they get gashed. Except your team. Your team can't run the ball against light box, which is frustrating. They also are dead last in stacked box percentages. If I'm Pittsburgh, this is what I'm doing. I look at my team and okay, I've got Darnell Washington, I've got Pat Freiermuth, I got Connor Hayward. Let's go heavy. Cowboys can't stop me with their heavy personnel. Let's go with the big boys. Let's run the football outside with our tackles, with our tight ends blocking. That is what I would do if I were Pittsburgh. Will they? We'll find out. What is your concern level over the Cowboys' run defense right now? I want honest answers here. Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Number 3, you've got to generate pressure somehow. And that is, frankly, you need to do that, and you need to do it before you lost all these guys. You've not been successful as a pass rushing team. You've had too many issues here. The flip side is for Pittsburgh, they can get after. They've got issues. Troy Fautano's on IR. James Daniels is on IR. Nate Herbig's on IR. They're starting a rookie center, just like he's pretty damn good, though. A rookie right guard, and Mason McCormick. Dan Moore is not great. The left guard is also banged up. If I'm Dallas, I am deploying my double A gap bug looks. That's what I'm doing. Because I'm not going to have Micah. I'm not going to have Tank Lawrence. I'm going to need something out of Osa, something from Marshawn Nealand. I might bring some linebackers and safeties. They've blitzed a lot trying to generate pressures, but haven't gotten home yet. But this defensive line for Dallas, it's kind of a matchup of weaknesses right now. Pittsburgh's offensive line is also pretty damn banged up. We will be live for the Cowboys versus Steelers game. So if you haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. Number 4, you got to force feed CeeDee Lamb. Joey Porter Jr. is a fun corner. He is beatable. Their nickel corner spot is Beanie Bishop Jr., who's a UDFA. They're going to try to double team Lamb, I bet. Maybe they try some Minkah Fitzpatrick stuff. But they don't have a player who can cover Lamb one-on-one. So force feed him. You did a great job of that in the first half last week. Awesome job getting the ball, and then you went away from it. 2 targets in the second half. You got to be better than that. You have to be. Get him the ball. You are going to win games with your not great offensive line, with your banged up defense overall, by getting CeeDee Lamb going. If he has a great game, and by extension, Dak Prescott has a great game too, probably, you're going to have success, or at least give yourself a chance to win games. Your offensive game plan needs to be, how do we get CeeDee Lamb as many targets as humanly possible? We know that running backs kind of can get too many touches. I want to see if that's true for a wide receiver. Let's see what can happen, because you're probably not going to get as many as you want to anyway. So give me your score predictions. I'll get them on at the end of today's video for the Cowboys against the Steelers. Let me know in the comments section of today's show what you think the final score ends up being. Number 5, key to victory, Dak Prescott Deals. And all the things that go into part of this. Can you protect him? We will talk about Terrence Steele, TJ Watt matchup later this week. They're the ground game. We will talk about all of that. But this team, you saw it against the Giants. You want to win games? Your passing offense has to carry you. I would like to do some more deep shots. I'd like to do some more stuff downfield, but you have to get the quarterback going, and he has to play great. This team is not good enough right now to not get consistent top 10 play out of Dak Prescott. You know, other teams will be able to survive an early INT from their quarterback like the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes. That's not how it's going to work in Dallas. You don't have Steve Spagnuolo. You don't have that defense. You need big games out of your quarterback. Dak leads the NFL in tight window throws. It's not great. It's too high. I think it's a heavy schematic issue. One area where the quarterback can be better. Last year on third downs, they led the NFL in third down EPA per play, 0.433. That is unbelievable. That is MVP stuff. Like, that is better than what Mahomes does overall, let alone on normally obvious passing downs. He was first in the NFL. This year, still positive, but right about league average. Now, a big factor in that is they faced some really bad third and longs, and they've had some big plays negated by penalties. All that goes into it. It's a passing offense success metric, basically, which isn't always just the quarterback, but he's the most impactful part of it. I need better from Dak. You saw it in the last 5 quarters. He's been very, very good. I need more of that going forward. As promised, my score prediction. I think you can beat Pittsburgh. Now, they do weird voodoo stuff, and they always find ways to win games, and it's super frustrating, but you can beat them if you have a good game plan and your coaching staff does its job, and everyone does its job too. It will be a dog fight, I think, down to the wire in what might be an ugly game since the Steelers defense is so good. I got Dallas winning 24-23.